Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel here. Here we look at a mix of new releases and figures that have been around for a bit. So whether you're new to the hobby or you've been collecting for a little bit, the goal here is pretty simple. We take an honest look at the figure and figure out if it's worth owning or not. So today we have the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Cable. And so this guy did just get a re-release. I think the pre-orders are still up, but I don't think anyone's actually received the 2.0. I don't actually think it's an upgraded version. I think it's a re-release with a few more accessories. But this is the original. It came out about, I'm not sure, like 4 or 5 years ago. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we'll kind of just dive into it here. So I'll put him to the side. We'll take a look at the box. So if you're getting the 2.0 or the re-release, you're not going to get this box. You're going to get the updated Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi boxes. You're not going to get this awesome art. There's a good amount to talk about, and I'll try and make it quick. So already you see this arm fell off. So when it comes to the sculpt, just looking at him, he's beautiful. This is an absolutely amazing looking action figure. The detail here on the chest and throughout the body on this bodysuit, the detail in the sculpt in the metal armor on the hand. Here's the arm. Not too much paint, but you definitely have a little bit of paint, some wash there. Here's the head. The sculpt is outstanding for a Cable figure. It's big, bulky. He's big and strong, just the way Cable should be. He's tough. He's mean. And so getting into the articulation here, this is where the figure shines, but also disappoints in a lot of ways. So one, I'll start off. If I'm looking to pose the right arm here, lift it up, bam, like that's just going to come right off. You see the R labeled for right. And so the good news is like you could just pop it back in. It is a problem, but you can just pop it back in. I'm not really good at modifying figures, but if I was, that would be somewhere I would start. And then the other bad news, when you're posing the legs around, this one's fine. And this one, if I give it a little bit too much, and now it wants to stay in, so I'm not even gonna, I'll do it for you. This pops out here. Again, R for the right. And so again, we could just pop it back right in, but it is kind of disappointing. Just like, I don't even, it's a QC issue, but I don't think, my guess is mine's not, that's not particular to mine, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's particular to mine or if everyone who has this figure is seeing those issues here. So, but going through the articulation quickly, everything you'd expect from a Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi here. The elbow that bends all the way. Same on the other side. For the head and the neck here, he's able to look up pretty high, and he kind of has a barrier there in his collar, and then he's able to look down pretty well too, about as far as you need. When it comes to the torso here, it is the newer Amazing Yamaguchi. Let me get this light on. Torso, which is good news. That means we don't have to pull apart his torso to be able to bend him left and right. And so he's kind of bulky, but he gets some good bend. Pretty decent 360. That's him bend all the way back, all the way forward. I think as much as you'd want to go. And in the shoulder here, both shoulders are the same. They both have a double ball peg and hinge joint here. If you mess around, you could probably get it to bring it all the way over his shoulder. Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. So let's talk about the butterfly joint. There's actually not a ton of movement on it. Once I get this guy back in here, you'll see that. I actually never even noticed this cutout here. So this never popped out before, but here we are. I'd rather happen now during this stream. So here's the butterfly joint going all the way up. You can kind of follow the two X's, and then here's the butterfly joint coming all the way down. It's kind of there as an option. Like it's not giving you a ton of extra movement. But when you start posing it with the accessories and the weapons, it does start to make sense why they added it. This shoulder, Yeah, this shoulder piece here is this right side shoulder piece here. I think it's separate. Yeah, that's just on a little ball and hinge joint there. So you can move that around. And then this one, it also is. There's some movement there, but I don't know, it's a little tricky. But you can see there's some movement. And then going into the waist here, so you have these that articulate in and out here. There, I don't think anything articulates on the back yet. This piece is not going to move. Getting to the hips, if you have an Amazing Yamaguchi, there's nothing new here. The hips go like pretty good if you work with it. You can definitely get into a splitting motion just to show you how far that'll go. He could bring his leg pretty high up if you start kind of messing around with it, and then you want to twist this here. But yeah, there are two joints here in the hips. So you have a triple ball peg there that connects to the torso and the two legs, and then a hinge joint here on this leg. Getting down to the knee, it is a hinge joint, which works perfectly fine. I've had those pop out on other Revoltech figures. That this one's not. And then he has that shin piece here, which again is on some kind of ball peg, but it just gives you a little bit more movement. Again, I think this is for the for like toy photographers out there that like can appreciate these kind of like basically finer details. Or maybe everyone appreciates it. I'm not sure. Down to the ankle here. It's a ball and peg. It's a ball and hinge joint. Little bit of rock there. Nice toe hinge. It follows the boot, which is nice. So overall, yeah, the articulation is there for you to kind of hit like any kind of pose you're looking for. He's not the kind of figure you're going to be able to play with too much, as you saw. Like he's falling apart in my hands. But if you're looking to strike a specific pose, he is good for that. Here's the accessories. So you'll notice this here. This is an eye effect. It comes out of that eye too. So the faces, these are the only two head sculpts that we receive. And so one's angry and one's a little bit angry as well, but just showing teeth. And so I'll put this in here. This just plugs in. There is no left eye for him, obviously. So you get these two pistols here, and these are kind of cool. So they do plug into his hip here. If you take these out, there's one on each side. You can remove these. You put the pistol in like that, this way. And then these will plug in on his thigh. A couple of extra hands. So he has the hands match for each side. So there's an open palm grip, a fist, and then a trigger finger hand, and those are those are identical for each side here. And then you get a few extra joint pieces. You get two guns, so you have kind of like a machine gun and then a grenade launcher. And there are some pretty cool options here. You can start to switch these out into more of a sniper rifle, and then kind of you can combine these into pretty much a giant laser cannon. I'm not sure what the name is. So final thoughts here. It's not that easy to say. So I'm definitely curious what what we'll get with the 1.5. If they kind of like retooled his joints, I think that's absolutely a game changer. I think the sculpt on this guy is absolutely perfect. I don't think you can get much better than this here. The colors, the scopes, the details, the lines, it's just absolutely amazing. Where it falls apart is literally where it falls apart in the joints. Things just start falling down. And so I don't know if they retooled that stuff, but it'll be interesting to see. But so again, this is the 1.0, and overall, it's pretty complicated. If you're putting this guy on a shelf, preferably with the coyote stand behind him, and you're trying to hit a dynamic pose, absolutely 100% well worth it. If you're looking for something more like along the lines of a Marvel Legends that can get a little beat up, I'd probably recommend passing on this. Overall, like if this guy didn't have any issues, I'd easily give him a 9 out of 10. Honestly, probably higher, like a 9.5. But with the issues here, it's probably going to drop him down to like a 6.5. They just can't be ignored. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. If you're into toy photography, go ahead, check out my Instagram, door.59. I do have a few photos of him up. And if you do any toy photography yourself, please send those over to me. I love engaging with the community, seeing what kind of ideas people have with their figures and their posting. There's some absolutely incredible stuff out there. But yeah, if you have any questions on this guy, feel free to shoot that over to me too. Be happy to get back to you. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.